Hello guys, and welcome to this course about web development. As I promised, we will start with HTML, which is the hypertext markup language, and then we will move on with other topics, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and so forth. So let's start with HTML. HTML is a markup language that basically means that is a set of metadata that is used to describe other data. It has the way how data is displayed on the screen. Nowadays, with the XHTML and then HTML5, we had like a detachment of the structure of the content from the presentation layer, basically. So now we have the structure that is contained into HTML and the presentation that is contained to CSS. So part of the content is made of tags like tables, sections, divs, etc. that you might have heard of. And then we have the presentation, which is made of instructions like bold, italic, font size, and so forth. And this was made in order to have more maintainable, easier to maintain code, and also to have a clearer view of what is happening in the page, in the code. So a brief history of the HTML. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee invented the web with HTML as its publishing language. In May 1994, so we have 5 years amongst these events. And in these 5 years, the World Wide Web, we have the World Wide Web conference in Geneva, and a draft of HTML plus comes out. So we have this draft that basically included also text floating around the images and other stuff like this. Being shown in this conference, and later on in July, all these things that were put at first into a draft are actually implemented in the final version that was named HTML2. In November 1994, a company creates the Netscape browser. And later, at the end of 1994, we have the birth of the World Wide Web Consortium as we know it. So for this first lesson about HTML, I just want to show you a little bit what is the structure of a template. You don't have to know what each one of these instructions means. You just need to, of these tags means. You just have to have a look at the general structure in order to see more or less what we are talking about. So you can see that at the beginning, we have something like HTML lang n. So basically, we have to tell the browser that this is a HTML file, and the main language. This lang basically tells the browser that our web page is written in English. And also search engines like Google use this information to index the content accordingly. Then we have the head portion, where we have a set of instructions like you can see charset, XUA compatible, which basically is used for responsive designs, and in order, these are instructions that are used in order to have responsive designs. The same is for viewport, width, device width, initial scale. These are all tags that are used for this purpose. Then basically we have tags that are used generally for SEO purposes also, which are the title, and for describing a little bit the content, as basically it will be indexed by Google. So basically it's that little portion of content that usually you see when you do a search, and after the title you see the little text below. So that is the content, the meta name description content. That is it. After this, you can see how to link CSS files to the HTML file. Then what else do we have? Respond. These are things that are to be described kind of later. They are not that. I mean, at this point, you don't really need to know this info. It's for later purposes. Then we have body. Okay, so basically this is the body, where basically we have the actual content, the actual structure of our website. So you can start to see a div here, which is the main div that contains all the tables or other divs, paragraphs, and things that we will see later in the course, starting from the next lesson. So here you can see how to link basically JavaScript in a HTML file. So we have the script tag, which is made of source, basically src equal basically tells the browser that a script is located in the path assets.js jQuery min.js. The same for the others script tags that you can see.